Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at this ALLPOWERS APSS 002 portable power station. Alright everybody, thanks for joining me today. I have been looking for a while for a inexpensive power station to review. A lot of people look at the Goal Zeros and the other ones and they're just so expensive. Now, do they have more capacity? Of course. But if you want something that's kind of inexpensive yet really works, and I have been testing this for a while now, you definitely want to check this out. It's not going to have the same battery capacity as, say, a huge Goal Zero. But quite honestly, if a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of watching some YouTube videos, you could probably build yourself something similar to that. But what this is for is a small, compact power supply, power station for, say, somebody that doesn't have a ton of room. You know, I already have several power stations I've built for myself. So this was really more of a test out thing for me. And it's going to be kind of a handy camping type thing or outdoors shooting videos type stuff. Definitely going to be handy for that. It is not huge. It's, what is it, 20 inches by 17? I'm sorry, 7 inches. I'm reading centimeters. 7.86 inches by 6.7 inches by 1.9 inch. So it's not a huge thing. It's about the size of a pretty thick book. Not super heavy. I believe it weighs about 3 pounds. Again, not something you're going to backpack with, not something you're going to stick in your bug out bag. There are smaller, power brick options for that. But this is definitely something really cool. Now, the other neat part of this is it does have a place for you to plug in your AC accessories. Now, I know these plugs look odd. They look weird. Let me give you a close-up of them. They look like European plugs almost. But they are actually legit, and they do work. You kind of have to rock your plug in. It's how they're designed. So that's how it works. So you get a little bit of a inverter. It says it has 150 watt capacity. I've found it more to be in the 100 watt range. I've plugged in things that were kind of close to the edge, like 160, 150, and it kind of squawked at me and it just didn't work. But for things 100 and under, I would say you're definitely safe. And let's face it, you're really getting this for the USB recharging capability and not for the inverter. And it is a modified sine wave inverter. It's not a pure sine wave inverter. So you're not going to be running sensitive electronics off this. A good example would be a fan, maybe an LED light, something like that. Awesome for use like that. So it says it can power laptops or recharge laptops, mini fridges, CPAP devices. They say anything up to 150 watts. It's fully charged in 8 hours by plugging it into the wall outlet. It can also be charged by plugging it into your car socket. However, the car charger isn't included in this one. The battery capacity on it in total, again, 154 watt hours or 41,600 milliamp hours. So, your little handheld chargers that you keep with you to charge your cell phone up. Maybe it has, 10,000. This has 4 times that. And it is pretty much what looks like from the exploded view on it, 18650s. It's just a bank of them back here. It also has the wireless charging on top. Let me show you that, where it says wireless there. Any device you have that has wireless charging, and unfortunately I don't have any to demo, so I'm sorry. My phone doesn't do that. Any device you have that is wireless charging, you can turn it on and drop it right there. So let's get into the function of it. It does have an over temperature and short circuit protection, which is nice because these things can get quite, Once you start messing around with 18650s wired together, I get a little nervous, so it's nice to know it has that. It also has a fan that will run on the side here. You'll hear a fan noise. There's a kind of almost looks like a speaker. But it's a small little fan that will run there and cool it off when it senses the temperature's a little high or if it's running anything that's a lot of watts. So let's get into the operation. To check your battery at any time, all you gotta do is push that button and there's your display. Battery's 100%, 99 hours, no input, no output, and no DC out. So to turn it on, you're going to have to choose. Do you want to use your AC plugs, which is the red, or you can push it the other way, the little button on here, push it the other way, and you can use your USB, or your USB-C output. Now, I'm not quite sure why they have a USB-C output on here. I would think that would have made an awesome charging input, and we'll get into charging in a minute, because that's one of the cons on this that you're going to have to kind of take into consideration, but let me turn that off for now. But it will work with a solar panel, but that's another story. We'll get into that in a second. So you do have a choice between choosing between these or the USB plugs. It is not made to do both at the same time. Okay, you have to choose one or the other. I know some of the bigger power banks, even ones I've built for myself, my ham radio emergency power bank that's over there, can do both. This isn't made for that. This is just a simple, smaller, affordable type thing that requires no electronic knowledge. You turn it on and it runs. So I'm going to do a quick demo here, and then we'll get into the charging. By the way, the kit comes with the charger here, and it comes in two pieces. So you have this piece here and this piece here. This is the actual charger, and this is just an adapter. I'm not sure if there is an adapter here for a cigarette lighter plug, but mine didn't come with it. So anyway, you've got that. So we're going to demo it doing some basic stuff. I'm going to show you, let's see, we'll turn it on to using the USBs. Now, a lot of people have said, well, it doesn't come with a light. That's kind of a downfall to it. Well, it comes with a light if you want it to. Oops, I have that inside out. There we go. So you can plug a little USB light into it, and it works perfectly well. So if you're using this for a light and you want to charge something and maybe you need a small light in your camp area or something, or during a power outage, you can do that. It will work with it. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Let's charge this this guy here. This is my Olight Baton 2. I'm probably going to put a link down below for you to check these out, because I've been carrying this since I reviewed it, which has been a couple months now. Love this thing. So there you go. Okay, it's on. Turn it on, plug it in, and there's your red light going. It's charging up there. It says you have 73 hours left on the battery as charging this. The DC out, 0.2 watts. It's hard to read. Hold on. There, so it is charging it at a rate of 0.2 watts, 0.3 watts. So it's still working, still charging away. And it will charge an item this size for 48 continuous hours. Now it's saying 73 hours. So there's one example. Let's move on to the next. You guys remember this Redegus radio that I reviewed. It has an internal battery. So there you go. Plug it in, and it charges it up. And there's the battery moving, showing you it's charging it. Whoops, I bumped the cord. So that's charging that up. So that's kind of handy to know that you can get this thing going, charging things up. It is, for stuff like this, it's awesome. You know, I can sit here and let this charge forever. Now, a little note on this. This is fully charged, and if you notice that light turned off, when your items are fully charged, it will stop charging them. It won't keep topping it off. So to conserve the battery, as you see it went out there, to conserve the battery, it will turn itself off. And once those green ports are off, it's no longer charging anything. So this is fully charged, so that's why it did it. Let's see, here's a tablet. This guy here. All right. Turn him back on. Wake him back up. Plug it in. And there you go. And it is charging the battery. I don't know if you can see the little lightning bolt. Come on, focus. But it is charging the battery there. There's a little lightning bolt there. And if I want to see how it's doing, that's it. So this will run for 29 hours. If it has to charge something like that, the output is 5 watts. By the way, I'm sorry, the output on the other one was 2 watts, not 5. This is 5 watts. So you can tell by the red light there, it's charging it. So it's definitely a cool little item to have. You know, it's very handy to have around. You can charge this up when you need to and have it ready to go. You can put it on a bookshelf kind of sideways sitting there. And it's the perfect item for that. It's really, really convenient. It's not huge. You could take it camping. I wouldn't suggest you take it backpacking because, let's face it, it's kind of big and heavy and it's 3 pounds. And, you know, there's a lot of other gear that could be better served by taking when you're backpacking. But it gives you the option. Also, if you're in a small apartment, you know, like in a city somewhere, and you don't have a lot of room for solar or backup power or anything like that, something like this is awesome because it offers you a decent amount of power in a very small size. So now we're going to demo the plug, okay? And I'm going to show you how to plug it in. Then we're going to get to my issue with the solar charging on it. It's really the only con that I have on this. It's my only disappointment, and it's really easily overcome, but it's just kind of a disappointment for folks who maybe want to get going right away with solar on this and have to wait and order either an adapter or another panel. So let's turn it over on the side here. By the way, this is off in the middle. When you move it to the middle, it's off. When you move it all the way back, you'll get a red light and your plugs are active. So let's plug in this little fan. Sorry about bump up the camera there. I'm going to back up the camera a little here so you can see it. Okay. Where is my plug? There it is. Turn it on so you can see what's going on here. Now, when you put these in, if you notice how this works, you're going to have to put it in and kind of rock it in. There's almost a protector over each port of the plug. There. So let's turn it on. Give it some light there. It says it will run this for 6 hours. 22 watts are being drawn right now for AC. 23. There's your 6.0. Once I get it in focus, the light goes off. And that's running on high. Let's move it to low and see what it does. All right. And that gives you 6 hours. 7.6 hours. And it's running 19 to 20 watts. So it's really cool that it gives you a drain and shows you what's going on, and it keeps running. This display will turn off to save battery, but of course the device you're plugged in will keep working. So all in all, I'm very pleased with it, but I will get into the solar issue now. So let me unplug this. In order to charge this with a solar panel, you can't just use any panel off the top of the shelf here. I have some very powerful foldable solar panels, 20 and 30 watt ones. But they only go up to 16 watts, 16 volts. This needs 15 volts. This needs 16 to do it. So you're going to need a device that will do it. You can see it here on the charger. Where is it? 16.8 volts. So you're going to need a panel that generates 16.8 volts to get it kicked on and continually taking the charge. So I'm going to have to buy a bigger panel for this. They do make, ALLPOWERS does make some amazing panels. Big fold-out ones that fold out like almost like picnic blankets that are like 150 watts and stuff. I'm probably going to get their 40-watt one that has the correct voltage to power this. That's the only bummer, and there's another bummer too that I'll explain in a second here. For charging this, you do not have a standard plug, okay? You would think you can get your USB plug and plug the female into this, the mini USB into this, or even the USB-C into this. This is an output. Unfortunately, that USB is an output. And this is your 5.2, gosh, what is it again? 5.2 millimeter plug. So you're going to need to buy a plug for that to adapt your panel to it, or you're going to need to buy one of the ALLPOWERS panels that has a third plug, has 2 USBs off the panel and a third plug that goes into this. That's the only bummer. Now, yeah, I tried it. I messed around a little bit last night with a panel. I got it all working and it took the charge, but then it was blinking because it was like 15.4 volts, so it wasn't the 16 volts needed to charge off this thing. So that's my only bummer. That's my only real disappointment on it. Other than that, I love the thing. I'm going to be using it a lot. It's very handy for power outages. I mean, we rely on our cell phones a lot, and even when the power goes down, you're still going to have the towers up for a while. You're still going to be able to communicate for a while. And those of you that are into ham radio, if you've bought a USB charger for your ham rigs, that's invaluable. I mean, that could just recharge batteries the entire time you're there. You could probably even recharge it off of these. I have not tried that yet, but I'm sure it would work. It's not drawing anything more than maybe 20 or 40 watts. So anyway, that is the ALLPOWERS portable power station. They run about $130. Way cheaper than looking at some of the other ones that are even crummier built. I mean, I looked at some of these and they looked very plastic and tinny and cheap, and they were like $200 and $300. And maybe they had a 200-watt plug instead of 150, you know? So I wasn't impressed with some of the old ones. I've done a lot of digging and research on this because I'm a big believer in just building your own power backup with a solar panel. You don't have to deal with issues like, you know, proprietary plugs and weird voltages and everything. You just slap it together yourself. I'm self-taught. I haven't blown myself up yet, so I guess that's a good thing. You know, something like this is great for a person who doesn't want to learn all that stuff. Maybe you live in a high-rise, you can't put a ton of solar panels out. Something like that. You could stick a solar panel in the window with the correct plug and charge it up. Or you could just keep it topped off. You know, you do have the charger here. It's not like it's completely useless without a charger. You do have the charger here. You can plug that in, keep it topped off on a shelf. The minute the power goes out, boom, you're on it. So definitely a handy device to have. Definitely way, way, way better than, say, just having one little, you know, those little power banks we have, the smaller ones. Even with the panels, they'll never charge up, you know, for days. You know, so something like this is definitely a handy device to have. You can even keep this by your bed at the end of the night. Take your phone if it's wireless. Put it on top to charge it. All in all, pretty darn good. Your AC outputs, 110 volts, 50 hertz. USB outputs, you got two of them. 5 volts at 3 amps, and the Type-C output is 5 volt at 3 amps. All the USB plugs are intelligent chargers, so you won't blow up devices. It senses the device, senses the correct level of charge it, and charges it up. So, all in all, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm very, very happy with it. Aside from the bummer about the solar thing, having to get a special plug for it or a special panel, I'll probably just splurge and get a better panel. All in all, that's no big deal to me. It's not the end of the world. So anyway, that is the ALLPOWERS portable power station. Like I said, they run about $130. I'll put the link down below. You can check it out and see if that one's good for you, or check out the others too. I mean, there's tons of others there. If you want to spend more, you can definitely do that. Don't forget to check out our Amazon link below that. This will also be in my Amazon store. If there's anything in there that you want to check out, you can check it out. If not, just shop as you normally would. Click the link, use the search bar up top, shop as you normally would. Doesn't cost you a penny and really helps out the channel. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below if you're interested in getting started up with some freeze-dried foods. Definitely a place to check out. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.